My name is Scott Evans. I'm the executive producer on Battlefield 2. So there are three factions you'll see in combat in Battlefield 2. You have the United States Marine Corps, you have the fictional Middle East Coalition, and then you have the People's Liberation Army of China. Each of these armies has their unique equipment that they bring to the battlefield. For example, the U.S. Marines are based on the equipment you're seeing now in the news or may see on the U.S. Marines website. It's all their actual gear. We've modeled it very carefully to make it as realistic and true to life as possible. People's Liberation Army was a little more difficult to get information on for obvious reasons, but we did find some information on the internet about these guys, and they have their own kind of home brew of technology that they've created themselves, as well as kind of married to Soviet-era technology. And the Middle East Coalition is kind of a mishmash. They're taking stuff from the Soviet era and upgrading that themselves and bringing that to the battlefield. So it's very much a rock, paper, scissors relationship between the three armies and all the equipment they bring to bear on the battlefield. The idea of persistence is a really big new feature to the Battlefield franchise. And the way it works essentially is that everything you do in the game generates experience points. So every kill you make, every time you heal someone, every time you repair them, these all add up in points for you as a player. As you go up, as you get these experience points, they'll correlate to rank increases. And as you go up in rank, you can then in turn unlock new weapons you can bring to the battlefield. So everything you do is essentially tracked on a very large back-end server system, much like an MMO. So we know everything you've done in every single map. And at any given time, you can see where you stack up in the world against other players in the in-game leaderboards. Or you can also see everything you've done, every moment you've spent in a certain type of vehicle, every kill you've made with a certain type of kit. So it's all there waiting just to be mined and sorted through the front-end interface. So players, when they buy Battlefield 2, will create an account for Battlefield 2, and then this is where that will become a repository for this information on a set of back-end servers. So we have other destroyable or destructible objects in the world. We have, for example, bridges that you can destroy, and these are often placed in strategic locations on the map between control points. So what you'll often see happen is in these maps where there are destroyable bridges, you'll see a group of special ops soldiers at the very beginning of the map rush out there, place C4 on that bridge, and either blow it up right away or wait for unsuspecting vehicles to come across the bridge and then drop them into the chasm beneath. So these destroyable bridges and choke points become contention areas. Commander mode is really the center of a group of features that is built around this idea of team play. And commander mode is the largest of those. So the person who is the commander on the battlefield basically gets to control the action from a top-down view, much like a real-time strategy game. So he's looking at the world from an altitude, looking top-down. He can zoom down all the way to about 300 meters off the ground and see things unfold in real time. While he's doing that, he's telling his squads to attack here, defend here, issuing orders in that way, and coordinating the action with voice over IP, as well as just chatting with the keyboard if he prefers that. While he's the commander, there's some abilities that he can do. He has four primary abilities. He can do a satellite sweep, which will reveal the positions of enemies on the map to he himself, which he can relay out to his squad leaders. He can call for a UAV Predator drone. This is an unmanned drone that will sit on top of the battlefield for a period of time and reveal the position of enemies in a limited area to his entire team. He can also call in a supply drop. So if he does that, you'll see this supply crate on a parachute come from the air, like it was dropped from a C-130 or something, and it'll land in the field of battle, and then friendly soldiers can get repaired from that, they can get health from that, and they can get more ammo from that. And his big uber ability is to drop artillery. So he can find out where the enemy's amassing or where his troops are about to attack, and he can call in an artillery strike in that area of the battlefield and wipe out a lot of people. So anybody in the battlefield can be the commander, and we have a priority system in place to dictate who gets to be commander if multiple people apply. So for example, if a corporal applies and a private applies at the same moment, the corporal, being of higher rank, will get priority to be the commander. The commander, all his assets and all his abilities are in the world. So his artillery pieces, his UAV control trailers, we call it, and his satellite dish, which coordinates the satellite sweeps, are all assets that sit physically in the world. So the enemy soldiers can go, for example, a special ops soldier on the other team can go place C4 on these assets and destroy them and basically deny the enemy commander these abilities. So it's kind of like poking his eyes out and removing his fangs. And then, a good team will watch what's happening for their commander. So if they see the artillery, get destroyed, an engineer on the friendly side can go repair those and restore that ability back to the commander. Actually, our two goals for Voice over IP was A, to enhance the multiplayer aspect of the game, and B, to kind of remove the annoyance factor. You have these kids yelling things at you in Voice over IP and saying all kind of things you probably don't want to hear. So the way Voice over IP works is it's linked to our command structure. So squad leaders can speak up the chain to the commander, and they can speak to guys in their own squad. Individual soldiers can only speak to other soldiers within their squad, and the commander can speak to his squad leaders basically. So we channel the Voice over IP traffic through this chain of command so no one can get on Voice over IP and just spam the entire server basically. So a couple of new kits to the Battlefield 2 experience are the Special Ops kit as well as the Support kit. Special Ops kit gets C4, and so he basically gets to run around and plant C4 on other vehicles, or actually you can attach it to any surface in the world on any piece of geometry, so you can set up really fun booby traps. The Support kit, his special ability is that he gets a heavy machine gun, and if he lays down prone with it, he's very accurate and can lay out a very devastating field of fire. But he also has the secondary ability of resupplying other soldiers around him with additional ammo. And this is an idea that we took and broadcast more broadly through the game, is that many kits have these secondary abilities. For example, the medic can heal people as well as revive people, and in doing so they get points, which ties back into the role-playing system and the idea of cooperation in a multiplayer game, because we want people to function as a medic and play the role as a medic. Or as an engineer, if they repair someone, we want them to get points so that they concentrate on being in the role of an engineer. Battlefield 2 ships to stores this June. We're really looking forward to seeing you online. We think people are going to really love the all-new modern weapons, the all-new graphics engine, the persistence system, all the team play features, including commander mode. It's the same great Battlefield gameplay that people have loved before, but all new with all the new vehicles and weapons and these new locations. So I think people are really going to dig it.